Hey Kamloops, Scott McDowell here at Royal LePage. The October 2023 real estate stats are in. This is actually one of the first months this year that we've seen that we might have a little bit of a shift in the market when you compare the benchmark price. Today I'm going to talk about the October stats, compare them to last month, and compare them to October of last year. Let's take a look. All right, let's take a quick look at the stats here. So right now, first I want to compare October stats compared to September stats, as this was a little bit of the biggest surprise that I did see. When you take a look at the benchmark price in September, the benchmark price was $678,500. To be honest, when we actually reviewed the September stats, this was a little bit of a surprise to me. I did feel like the market had softened a little bit more closer to September, but a lot of the stats that come into September were sales that probably happened later in August, usually before school ends. That big mad rush to get in before September school time. So I was surprised to see that it actually went up in September compared to August, but not surprised to see that it dropped September to October here. The big surprise to me is that it actually dropped substantially. You're looking at $23,000 drop. So that is a substantial drop, but I do think, like I said, it's a little bit of accumulation between a slower September that bled a little bit more into October. And actually what I've personally seen is even the past couple of weeks here, the market has picked up since the interest rates stabilized and the interest rates didn't go up the last announcement. I did see a little bit more consumer confidence come back to the market. I did personally list a place listed downtown. We actually had 19 showings on that property, 3 offers on that property. So we do still see good properties and good locations are still selling well and still in multiple offers. So I'm actually in a multiple offer situation this evening here. So there are still some good properties. So, but what we're seeing is the properties that are overvalued, people who are still trying to extend how much their property is actually worth by overpricing their home. We're seeing those properties sit on the market for an extended period of time, reducing, and a lot of times they actually end up taking a little bit less money than they would have if they had originally listed at the appropriate list price and to the current market value. But when you compare this compared to even the townhouse market, we did see a little bit of a drop of $9,000 in the townhouse market and a $4,000 drop in the condo market. So you're looking at about a 1 to 1.5% drop on these in these different areas, and about a 3% drop in the single family homes there. But again, this is definitely not a surprise given what we've seen in the market. But again, it's a lot of that is when you're comparing a little bit of a busier month, which September traditionally is, and you compare it to October, it is a fairly normal seasonal market. So I do want to compare October this year compared to last year. Here, let's go take a look. All right, let's compare the October this past month here and compare it to October of the same time last year here. So one thing when we're taking a look at these stats, we do need to consider and take in mind when you're considering 2022 is the spring of 2022 when you saw the over ask price offers, the $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 over list price in the February, March, April of 2022, and then we started seeing interest rates dramatically increase. The market continued to narrow down, where we saw basically the market kind of bottom out in the tail end of 2022 in December, January of this past winter here. So when you're considering that, and you consider the volatility of the market last year, and especially the uncertainty of the market this year here, definitely consider that when you're taking a look at these numbers here. But when you take a look at this past month here, we did see that the number of sales did increase from last year to this year, up 9%, up to 191 sales compared to 175 deals. So again, we are down for probably when you take a look. When you take a look at October compared to multiple previous years, we're probably down compared to those years, but definitely up from where we were last year. We did see the median sales price drop from 575 to 555, so about little over 3%. But the average sale price went from 575 up to 583,000. So we do have a little bit more of a higher end market at this time right now, but more sales are actually happening in the lower price points. That's why I see the median price point a little bit lower and the average sale price a little bit higher. So one thing that did catch my eye here is the average days on market did increase to 61 days on market from 55 days. And that's actually up considerably compared to September as well, which was actually sitting at about 53 days as well. So we are still seeing a lot of new inventory that's hitting the market, sticking around because they aren't pricing to the current market. So definitely consider, if you are listing your house or if you're looking to purchase a house, definitely keep an eye on that days on market, or consider your purchase price or your asking price when you are creating a new listing here. So overpricing for the market, what you're doing is you're sitting on the market. You're likely going to have to reduce again, and then get down to where the current market is sitting. Unfortunately, as a buyer, when you're seeing the multiple reductions, the days on market build up, you're starting to see buyers come in with considerably lower offers. We were actually able to take $88,000 off a purchase price from a property that had been sitting on the market with multiple different price reductions. $88,000 just this past month here, but also at the same time we priced a property according to the actual market value. We saw 19 showings on the property, 3 offers, and did sell for over asking price. So definitely keep in mind pricing to current market if you're looking to sell a house, and definitely keep in mind take a look at those days on market if you're looking to buy a house. Might be an opportunity to get a good house at a good price here, so especially if it's been sitting around the market. One thing that was actually pretty interesting is that the average list to sell ratio is down from the same time last year. I think again a lot of that was we have more inventory on the market, more inventory that's sitting, more days on market, so we're able to negotiate a little bit more off. Inventory is up about 11.5% here, up about 120 new listings, and the end of month supply inventory, or the absorption rate, so new listings that hit the market and overall inventory on the market divided by the number of sales, we're now sitting at about 6 months supply of inventory. That leads us to think that we're actually leading a little bit more into a seller's market. That being said, there is multiple different markets within the Kamloops market as a whole. As Kamloops market as a whole, 6 months of inventory shows that we're actually leading a little bit more into a buyer's market. But I actually did a market evaluation just the other day there up in Aberdeen, single family house, very attractive price point. We had no competition. So that specific seller would be a little bit more in the seller's market because there's more buyers for that specific house and low inventory. I did a CMA on a market valuation in a different area. That same basically similar kind of price point, different area. We had 17 similar homes for, again, very few buyers in that market. So that home is actually going to be lead a little bit more into a buyer's market. Both same homes in the same city, both very different markets, and a lot of that does depend on what kind of inventory is in that specific neighborhood, what kind of inventory is in that price range. So we're actually seeing the lower price points definitely has a lower month supply of inventory, as it's a lot more active. There's a lot more buyers in that area, and then the higher price points, obviously, they're definitely extending well past a year of supply of inventory. So what does that all mean for you? It all depends on exactly where you're sitting and what your plans are. If you have an immediate need to move this winter here, obviously that's going to benefit you. If you are a buyer, you might be able to take advantage of this increased inventory, a little bit of a slower market before we head into spring here. If you are looking to sell, it all depends on exactly what kind of market you're in. So if you're looking for a little bit more advice, specifically what this means for your specific needs, definitely reach out. My contact information is below. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you and discuss your specific needs. So let me know if you have any questions. Look forward to talking with you sometime soon. Thanks.